Hello, my name is Kyle, and welcome to my channel where we take TV, movies, and culture and filter it right. And today we're going to talk about some things going on right now. We're going to do a little bit of a lightning round. We're going to talk about Jussie Smollett and what he's trying to do. Is he going to sue? Is he not going to sue? We're going to talk about Chris Evans. Well, is he really Captain America or is he just pouting? We're going to talk about Cardi B and a lot more. And so stick around. We're going to jump right into this right now. So, as we know, Jussie Smollett is going to be getting off of all 16 charges of, well, lying to the police for one, and also applying a false police report, and basically deceiving the entire country and embarrassing himself and the city of Chicago in the process. Well, he gets off scot-free. He does about 18 hours worth of community service with Jesse Jackson and pays a $10,000 fine, and he's good to go. Well, all right. Good for you, Jussie. Anyway, but so now he just can't stop there, and it seems like he is actually looking about suing the police department of Chicago. Are you serious? Yes. Check this out. He is seriously considering suing Chicago police. We have page 6 here. Jussie Smollett might be considering lawsuit after charges were dropped. Interesting. And so basically it says a lawyer for Jussie Smollett on Wednesday left open the possibility that the Empire star, who Chicago prosecutors acknowledged had lied about being a hate crime victim, may now sue over alleged attack. Tina Gladian appeared on ABC's Good Morning America to address prosecutors' stunning decision the day before to drop all 16 felony counts against the actor. We're weighing our options now, Gladian said in response to co-host George Stephanopoulos' question, are you going to sue? All right, let me just stop there. Are you kidding me? So, okay. So you're telling me that this guy, allegedly hires 2 people to beat him up, tie a rope around his neck, throw bleach on him, call him horrible names for the effort of whatever, because what's going on with the investigation is pretty much sealed. The judge said, you know what, you can't take a look at this and nobody's going to know. His record's been expunged. The files have been erased. But we would like to know what actually happened, because what's happening is he almost started a race war. He created tension across this country. And if it happened, we want to know. If it didn't happen, we want to know. The cat's out of the bag. Come on, Jussie. I don't understand this. I think if you should be happy that you're off, be humble and chill. You got off really, really well, because by all looks of things, you know, it wasn't looking good for you. The prosecutors within the the police department and the people who investigated, including the grand jury, had evidence to that. And many are pushing back, saying they want the feds to come in and investigate further. So by you feeling this flame of anger and animosity towards this particular decision, it's not going to help you. I would just suggest just chill and keep it moving, dude. For real. But, you know, we all can't have that anyway. So let's just see what happens with that. All right, so let's talk about Chris Evans now. As you know, Chris Evans he plays Captain America. And he is now on the verge of ending his career as Captain America. I don't know any spoilers in the movie, but many people are thinking that this will be his last go as Captain America. And if you're familiar with the comic books at all, you kind of know what happens to Captain America right after Civil War. Yeah, look it up yourself, but beware. There will be some spoilers potentially going into Marvel Avengers Endgame. But that being said, so check this out. So this article this is from the Hollywood Reporter, where it says that the political Avenger, he's the political Avenger. Chris Evans takes on Trump, Tom Brady, anxiety, and those retirement rumors. Let's jump in real quick. He says, And this is by, okay, yeah. So it says, ahead of Avengers Endgame, the progressive Captain America actor and Twitter firebrand says he's ready to retire his Marvel hero for directing gigs, a new Apple show, and the fight against dumb president. I'd be disappointed in myself if I didn't speak up. Now, I understand people are upset with the president and everything, but a lot of that had to do with the so-called collusion that happened, back in the late 2015 and 2016 election cycle, and I'm going to do a video on that, on the complete timeline of how that got kicked off with everything. I'm going to do a higher produced piece on how that actually transpired and put it out there, because I think people forget how that went down and who were the players in that. But anyway, so it says it's Friday afternoon in February, and the view from Chris Evans' house on the Hollywood Hills consists mostly of fog. I won't talk about that. Basically, he goes on talking about how he doesn't like Trump and how he's willing to take his fame and his career and alienate half of his audience just to trash the president. Okay, Chris, how old are you? Are you what? I'm imagining he's in his 30s, but he acts like he's 17 years old. I don't get it, and the fact that I'm spending this much time on this means that I'm really upset by it, but I'm really not. It just goes to show you that these Hollywood elitists, these Hollywood actors, whom we love their content. I mean, I like Endgame. Well, I like Avengers. I'm going to see Endgame, but for the most part, I'll probably not see anything beyond that. We like the stuff we see, and we enjoy their content. And there's this saying, just shut up and sing, shut up and dance, shut up and act, whatever. Here's the thing. We just want to see you for what you're good at. Entertain us. That's it. And again, the reason why this channel is even here is because of stuff like this. This is why I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing this kind of stuff, because this right here is just not productive. So anyway, I'm going to move on. All right, so now we got this chick here, Cardi B. All right, I'm not too familiar with Cardi B. I haven't listened to much of her music, but I understand that she's really, really popular, and she's like, doing her thing. I'm all for that. Capitalism, be the best you can be, work hard, get up early, stay late, and get all you can get. But the thing is she admitted that 3 years ago, she was in the process of drugging people, men, robbing them, getting their money. And I'm not going to make a comment here on Bill Cosby, but here's the thing. We got to keep things consistent. If you're going to treat people on one thing, we have to be consistent across the board. And the Huffington Post here actually has it right. It's the Huffington Post where Lee Moran says Cardi B's explanation for drugging and robbing men only makes it worse. So at least the liberal Huffington Post isn't taking this, at least sees that this is not a good thing, right? And that you shouldn't be bragging about this. And of course, there's a video of her yelling and screaming and ranting about it, saying, I did what I had to do. You don't understand, whatever. Nobody had to work for, nobody did anything for me. I had to work for everything I got. And Laura Ingraham said today, yesterday in yesterday's program, that so did the mafia. The mafia does what they have to do too. Does it make it right? And so I think the Huffington Post has this right. So it says Cardi B's attempt to explain why she drugged and robbed men during her time as a stripper has not gone well. The Bodak Yellow rapper responded to criticism of newly resurfaced years-old Instagram live clip in which she made the admission of a lengthy statement that she shared to Twitter on Tuesday. You can read it here. I'm going to leave links to all this stuff below. I'm not going to read this, but she says in her tweet, all I can do now is be a better me for myself, my family, and my future. It's just interesting how, the hypocrisy that goes on between the left and the right. There's definitely a double standard, and it's so obvious and blatant. And when they do it to themselves, what they call eat their own, they actually attack their own, because it's sometimes too much on the nose. Okay, let's go back to Jussie. All right, I did a video quickly about him getting off, but the news was still pretty fresh. Later on that afternoon, the mayor, Rahm Emanuel, and the police chief did a press conference, right? And they basically said, this is a travesty, this is a whitewashing of justice, whatever. And because I think even they know, even if they generally think that he should have gotten off, they know that in the public eye, this is just not good for them. It's too much on the nose. When you have people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whoever her name is, in the House of Representatives, doing what she does, and putting forth this new Green Deal, which I actually wasn't going to talk about in this, but I just had to pull it from this because I didn't think it was that relative to culture per se. But I'm going to bring it up anyway with the Green Deal. That stuff right there is just so far out there. It exposes this crazy narrative of stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. It got 0 votes in the Senate. And, and so I think even they know that some things, they just can't be exposed too much. Otherwise, they're going to be called on it and look silly. And that's what's happening with this. And that's what's happening with a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about today, or I've talked about today. And so, with the whole thing with this woke movement, with this hashtag #MeToo movement, people see hypocrisy and they see right through it. And now with the age of Google and and the internet and everything, people have common sense. And what people don't understand is one of the reasons why the president won isn't because a racist. It's because he was the things that people say that he was, and it's simply because people are tired of the same old, same old. They're tired of the Republicans saying one thing, doing one thing. They're tired of Democrats doing one thing, saying another thing. They wanted something different. And whether you like Trump or not, the president, you have to agree that he's different. And so that is one of the things. And so that's one of the things that made him appealing. It's one of the things that makes these articles so insane, because you see the left just coming after themselves and falling all over themselves. Look at Joe Biden. If I can take a quick second here. Right now, Joe Biden is on an apology tour because he has to explain why he didn't do things right with Anita Hill, with Clarence Thomas, why he didn't do this right back in the day, why he did this, why he's apologizing for things simply because he is an old dinosaur in a party that has left him. And now, because he's a white man, he has to explain away who he is and say, well, you can trust me, white men suck, but not just, but not me, right? Those other white guys, they suck. But me, I'm good. And I'm going to apologize for the reasons why I could have sucked in the past, because whatever. And so it makes no sense. It's hard for me even to articulate what he's trying to say, but he's trying to make himself relative in a party that has gone crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that because I am not a political channel. However, you kind of get where I'm coming from. Where the Democrats are going is obviously towards the side of this woke movement, social justice warrior, identity politics, and so forth. So I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is also in the news this week. Why? Because he's so excited that his daughter got into USC without any help whatsoever. And even though he's this big rapper, star, mogul, this is from Newsday, by the way, that, my daughter got in, no problem. And he tweeted out saying, my daughter got accepted into USC all on her own, no jail time. Only problem is he forgot to realize that he gave the school $70 million in the past, and they named the building after him. And so that tweet had to come down. So Dr. Dre deletes the Instagram post touting his daughter's USC acceptance. Yeah, and see, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. I mean, you could do a whole video just on the whole college scandal, but there's so much stuff out there. It's almost like they almost want to cover themselves by putting so much out there that you can't possibly cover it all. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah, that's that. And lastly, we're going to talk about the late night explosion over the Mueller report. So seems like late night television isn't too happy with what's going on with that. And there's plenty of video out there. You can go search for it. I may link a few things. I may not. I don't know. But here we go. So late night hosts meltdown after Mueller report exonerates Trump. Trump, are you ushing me? And of course, that's late night TV show hosts are left disappointed and dejected by FBI Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report clearing Donald Trump's presidential campaign of charges of collusion with Russia during the 2016 election. On Sunday evening, Attorney General William Barr said that the special counsel did not find any U.S. person or Trump campaign official conspired or knowingly coordinated with Russia. Now, you have people like there's people out there saying that that they didn't exonerate him from the collusion standpoint. They absolutely exonerated the president and his family and pretty much every American, because no American they identified as being colluding with the Russians. That it was 100% no collusion. It was not. It was the issue that they're coming out with now is saying that there was some obstruction, but the collusion aspect of it is totally been exonerated. Everything that they've done, no evidence was ever found. And so there are other people out there who are saying that there is a possibility that they left the door open for that. That is not true. Don't believe that at all. There was no collusion. There was no evidence of collusion. There was never any evidence of collusion. In fact, I believe they knew within the first month, because the investigation started in May, I believe, and it was June where they went to obstruction. After a month of looking at it, I'm thinking they knew pretty early on that they didn't have much of a case. Anyway, so late night show Stephen Colbert consoled himself with the news by pointing out that Donald Trump still is a terrible president. You can read this for yourself, but you get the point. You have Trevor Noah here. He actually was caught saying that. Well, he was actually said that it's like Christmas morning. You go downstairs looking for your BMX bike, and you see Santa Claus who's dead under the tree. It's really okay. So I'm not even sure how these late night television shows are keeping an audience. Oh, and by the way, speaking of audience, it looks like Rachel Maddow audience dropped by 500 million in like a day, because after the Mueller report came out, I think people realized that she basically lied to all of them and basically got good ratings because of this narrative that Trump colluded with Russia, which is absolutely false. And so she went from second place to sixth place in a day. How's that? So that being said, guys, that's all I had. I try to keep these things as succinct as possible. And I was really unsure what to even talk about today, but with this things going on with the culture, I wanted to at least bring that out because this is part of our mandate. I will be bringing up some movie reviews as well coming up this weekend. I have something special planned as well. I'm taking a trip up north, and I am going to do a review on a TV show on Netflix, or a miniseries that I saw, Watership Down. I'm going to give an analysis of that. Should be interesting to see because that's an interesting program. It's a remake from 1972, which is a horrific children's program. If you get a chance to see it, make sure you hide the kids, man. This thing is brutal. So I'm going to talk about this actual miniseries and its cultural implications on society. It will be more or less a social commentary on that. So with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you like this content and want to see more of me taking movies, culture, and television and filtering it right, let me know in the comments below. And please hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends, and I'll see you in the next video.